I made a list of 16 things that I wish I knew before I bought my first Tesla. Now obviously, one look at my channel and you can see that I love this car. But if I can go back in time, these are things that I wish I knew that would have made my experience a little easier and may have influenced my purchasing decision. So whether you're a brand new Tesla owner or a future Tesla owner, I hope this helps you out. And so with that being said, the first thing I wish I knew before I bought my Tesla is that you can charge on any outlet. So if you're worried about your at-home charging station or having to upgrade your at-home charging, fear not. If you have access to any regular outlet, the same outlet you charge your iPhone on, you can also charge your Tesla. Now, of course, it'll be a slower charge using a standard outlet, but as long as you have access to it overnight, you'll get enough range for most people's daily driving. For example, with about 5 miles of range per hour of charge, if you can charge your car for 12 hours, you'll get 60 miles of range. And if you're somewhere near the average driver in the US, you probably don't drive that much in a day. So what I always recommend if you're a new Tesla owner, if you have access to a standard outlet, just try it out. And if you need more range than that, you can always upgrade at any time. But again, that outlet will work for most people. Now, number 2, you may have heard that Teslas require minimal or no maintenance, and I didn't believe it, but that's actually pretty true. Over the past year, we rotated our tires 2 times. We put windshield washer fluid inside as well because we use that quite a bit. And that's it. For the entire year last year, that's all we did to our Model Y. Obviously, there's no engine, so there's no sort of oil changes. There's just less moving parts overall, so there's less things that can go wrong with the car. And having minimal to no maintenance is just a blessing because I'm not a maintenance person. Now, the next thing I wish I knew is that Tesla frequently changes their prices. Tesla is always offering discounts, incentives to buy their new cars. When I first bought my Model 3 about 2.5 years ago, the price went up a few $1,000s shortly after, so I thought I got a pretty good deal. But now, 2.5 years later, I paid about $16,000 more for my Model 3 than what a brand new one is worth today. Now, do I regret my purchase or wish I waited to buy it until now? Absolutely not. And sure, I've saved some money over the past 2.5 years on gas and not having to pay for maintenance. Probably not $16,000 worth, but over the past 2.5 years, I also got to drive a Tesla and not my old Kia Forte. So whatever price you're purchasing your Tesla for, make sure you're okay with it and just know it may go up or down in the near future. And one other thing too, if you're waiting for the next and best latest upgrade, the latest Tesla, you'll be waiting for a long time because these cars improve so fast, so quickly that if you just sit around and wait for the next best one, there will always be something better coming out very soon. So just keep that in mind as well. The next thing I wish I knew is that the white interior is easy to clean and easy to keep clean. When I got my Model 3 2.5 years ago, I got the black interior because I thought it would just be easier to maintain. But as I learned more about Teslas, I learned about, I don't know what it is about their leather, but it just lasts a very long time and the white interior looks brand new even after several years of use. The only thing I heard that might stain the white interior are blue jeans, but we never wear jeans, so we're not worried about that. We opted for a white interior for our Model Y that we got a little over a year ago, and it's held up great so far. The next thing I wish I knew is the difference between autopilot and full self-driving. So you may have heard that Teslas can drive themselves, and that is somewhat true, somewhat not true. Full self-driving is a paid upgrade, and that will have your Tesla drive completely autonomous with you behind the wheel as of now. It'll make turns for you, it'll stop at stop signs, stop at stoplights, stop for pedestrians, and go from point A to point B on its own. On the other hand, Autopilot is a free feature with every Tesla that's meant for your highway driving. It'll keep you in your lane, keep you a certain distance from the car in front of you. You can set the speed and it'll just cruise on the highways for you. So if you're going on a very long road trip, Autopilot will do most of your driving for you because you'll be on the highway most of the time anyway. Speaking of road trips, the next thing that I wish I knew is how easy road trips actually are in a Tesla. When you put in your destination for a road trip, the car will plan everything for you. It'll tell you which chargers to stop at, how long you have to charge there for, how long it'll take to get to the next one, and everything is just planned out very easy on the screen. And the superchargers themselves are incredibly easy to use. There's no credit card, there's no creating an app to log into something. You take the cord, take it out from the charger, plug it in your car, and it works. And it's really that simple. And like I said, Autopilot on road trips is a complete game changer. You can just engage it, turn it on, sit back, relax, and have the car drive for you. But next, speaking of supercharging, I wish I knew that all superchargers aren't created equal. Every supercharger has different charging rates. Most of them are either 150 or 250 kilowatts. And if you're not familiar with that, basically the higher the number, the faster the charge. And you can see how fast that charger is or what rate it is if you just tap the charging icon on the screen. So if you're on a road trip, as much as you can, you want to try to navigate to those 250 kilowatt chargers because you'll spend less time charging on your trips if you could do that. Now Tesla is rolling out superchargers as we speak that are faster than 250. Some go up to like 500 for Cybertrucks and the semi-trucks. But as of now, most Model 3s and Ys can only handle 250 kilowatts of supercharging. Now the next thing I wish I knew about Teslas is that the regenerative braking is freaking legit. So before I first drove one, I knew this was a thing, I knew what it was, and if you don't know what regen braking is, if you let off the accelerator, the car will slow down much faster than what you're used to if you come from a gas car. It basically feels like it's applying the brakes for you when you just let off the accelerator, but what it's doing is sending energy back into the battery to make your car more efficient. Now it takes a few minutes to get used to, but wow, once you are used to it, to never have to touch the brake pedal and to just use one pedal driving is truly amazing. Now this next one, I did some research. I'm very glad I knew this beforehand, but if you don't, Sentry mode is a feature and I highly recommend turning it on. What Sentry mode is when your car is parked, it will record anyone and anything that comes within proximity to it. So for example, if you're at a grocery store and somebody door dings your car or a cart runs up to it and hits it, you'll have that on camera so you can know exactly what happened. Or if you're like me and you pick up your Model 3 and the next morning somebody backs into you and drives away without leaving a note, you can have it on camera and you can get their plate and handle it however you want to. Now Sentry mode does use some battery while it's running, but you have the option to turn it off at your home if you want to. The next thing I wish I knew is how powerful and how much the Tesla app can actually do. If your car is frozen or full of snow, you can heat it up and melt it from the app. If it's really hot outside and you want to cool the cabin before you get into the car, you can do it from the app. If you're out somewhere and you forgot where you parked, you can locate your car from the app. If your hands are full of groceries and you want your car to come to you to pick you up, you can do it from the app. But this one is called Summon, and that actually requires a full self-driving upgrade. But point being, you can control so much of the car from your phone within anywhere. You don't need to be in Bluetooth range. You can do it from anywhere in the world, and that's pretty cool. Now next, I wish I knew that some accessories just aren't included. Now there are some accessories that make the car more convenient, but some are just truly must-haves. For example, the center console comes with this big storage space, but you can't really use it unless you get a center console tray, because if you put something small in there, you're never gonna find it. So some things like these trays or a screen protector or even floor mats in the standard models don't come with the car, so these are things that you will have to purchase after you get your Tesla. Now there are a handful of other accessories that aren't must-haves but will make your life a whole lot easier, and I'll leave those all down below. Now the next thing I wish I knew is the metric system. So the battery and the efficiency are all in metric units like watts, kilowatts, kilowatt hours, and I just didn't know anything about that. Now if you don't care about all that stuff, that's totally fine, but me, I'm a bit of a data nerd, so trying to decipher what that meant at first took a bit of learning on my end. Now the next thing you should know that I wish I knew, but I did know this as well, is to not take your Tesla through a car wash. Now no, it will not break the battery, but the reason for this is because if you go through one of those automatic car washes, the paint is a little bit thin to where if you go through it regularly, you'll start seeing those swirls and scratches on the paint. Now touchless car washes are totally fine. If you hand wash it, even better. And one more thing too, if you do want to get some paint protection film, try to get it right away, or if you wrap your car, get it done as soon as possible, because like us, we waited like 10,000 miles after we drove it to get it wrapped. And some of those rock chips that we picked up along the way, if you look closely, you can still see them through the wrap. Now the next thing I wish I knew is about this key card. You'll never use it, but make sure you don't lose it. And I say you'll never use it because your phone is your key. When your car senses your phone close to it, it'll lock or unlock, and you can drive with just using your phone. But if you ever go to get your car serviced or get your tires changed or rotated or want to valet your car, you'll want to give them this instead of your phone. So if you don't want to be like me and give the guy your phone at the tire shop for like an hour, make sure you don't lose this and keep it with you. Next, I wish I knew how awesome these software updates actually are. You know how sometimes you update your iPhone and you're worried about where the settings are, how everything has changed? With the Tesla updates, it's never like that. With each update, you either get new features added or they're improvements on current features you already have. So those updates are always amazing. I always look forward to them, and they make your car really never feel outdated. And lastly, I wish I knew that once you get a Tesla, you'll never go back to a gas car. Now, I was never a car guy before this, and I'm still not really a car guy. I just love my Tesla. I never intended to be a YouTuber, but once I got in this and drove it for the first time and got my own, the only thought in my head was, why doesn't everyone have one of these? You know, I was kind of like, do people not know that these exist or what they're like? I gotta make videos, I gotta tell people. So that's where I started all of this here. But yeah, once you go Tesla, you'll never go back. So there are 16 things that I wish I knew before I got my first Tesla. If you're a current Tesla owner and you think I missed something, or if there's something that you wish you would have known before you got your first Tesla, leave a comment down below. And if you're a new or a future Tesla owner, I hope this helped you feel more confident and more prepared for your purchase. For more content like this, be sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.